Browns lose to the Chiefs 21-7. At least that's the score at the 2-minute warning when I started filming this post-game show because we do not need to watch any more of this game. Let's discuss what's next for Cleveland, and then we'll start to rehash this game. Jameis Winston benched, under 200 yards, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. I will say one of the interceptions, I'll put 50% on Chubb, 50% on Jameis. It kind of goes through Chubb's hands to start the second half, but the pass really wasn't on target. So overall, a rough outing for Jameis as we watch Dorian Thompson-Robinson on 1st and 10 get harassed and throw an incomplete pass. I think the Browns should and will start Winston next week. And if that goes horribly wrong, then you start DTR the last 2 games. But no one likes the I told you so guy, but I'm going to say it. I told you so. Jameis was fun when this team was losing and he was throwing touchdowns with the interceptions, right? Touchdowns went away today. The interceptions have persisted. He leads the NFL in turnovers since taking over as the starter in Week 8, and everyone kind of put up with it because it at least made the Browns bearable in 2 primetime games. We weren't embarrassed on Thursday night against the Steelers. They weren't really embarrassed on Monday night against the Broncos. So we'll roll with it. It was better than we had to start the year. But looking in the future here, I don't think anyone should walk away from this Jameis sample size and think that's the no-doubter starting quarterback for this team in 2025. I don't think that's the proper reaction to come away from. But a fair reaction could be he might be our only best option. If you don't want to go back to Watson, which I get, as DTR just threw a pick. So DTR not making a great case for himself to start the last 3 games. And it is nearly a pick 6. Oh, that's wonderful. So, yeah, Jameis, 16 of 25, 146 yards, 3 interceptions. The Browns are going to explore every quarterback option for 2025. They need to know what draft pick they have. If there's any good quarterback they like that'll be available around that draft pick, and hopefully by the end of the video, I'll be able to tell you guys what pick the Browns are currently slated to have in the 2025 draft. And they will probably come away with the following, Odyssey, as Andrew Berry called it when they went out and got Deshaun Watson, Odyssey information overhaul. We don't have a good enough draft pick to get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. There's no one in free agency that's really worth a big contract or a medium-sized contract. There's no rookie we're going to find later in the draft that we feel like is going to be ready to start. So we're left with 2.5 quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks that are under contract. Deshaun Watson and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I think we can all agree, DTR, I don't think is an upgrade from Watson. And then there's the half, Jameis, who's a free agent. And maybe he comes back. Maybe he wants to come back. Maybe the Browns want to bring him back. But he is scheduled to be a free agent. And if the Browns roll with DTR for the last 3 weeks of the season, the lasting image of Jameis in Cleveland is going to be 3 interceptions and no touchdowns against the Chiefs. This is putting us on a collision course for, when healthy, Deshaun Watson regaining his starting job, which I know is something no one wants to hear. But when that article from Mary Kay came out before this game on Sunday about Watson not being, out of the running to be this team's starting quarterback, I didn't find it all that surprising. Why would he be out of the running? He's under contract. He's highly paid, so it's hard to move on from him. And Jameis has not played at a level that makes him a shoo-in, an absolute slam dunk to come back and start next season. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that Watson is on a path to return to his starting role once healthy. We'll see what the next couple of weeks hold, but if they turn it over to DTR for the last 3 weeks, there's no chance Jameis comes back after that. Why would you bench him for the last 3.5 games and then go, but we still want to re-sign you? With the way DTR closed out this game, and again, it's not ideal for him coming off the bench cold, but I've yet to see anything from DTR that makes me a staunch, firm believer that he can be this team's starting quarterback for a season. Can he be an NFL backup? Yeah, I think he can. Is he someone I want to turn the keys over to week 1, 2025? Absolutely not. Is Watson a better option? Probably, but not by a whole lot. But he's under contract anyway. And the Browns are probably going to go around and look at all the options and realize there is no other option. And they're going to come back to one conclusion. Well, Watson kind of played well before he got injured. He had a good second half against the Eagles in Week 6, a good first half against the Bengals in Week 7, and they are going to explore every nook and cranny, and they're going to come back with, there's no better option. They should draft a quarterback at some point, not one in round 1, unless they are in Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders' range, which I don't think they will be, and I don't think they'll be able to trade up and get one. What other choice are they going to have other than starting Deshaun Watson? So that's my big takeaway from this game. Let's talk about the game in general, though. If you missed it, you didn't miss a whole lot. It was turnovers galore. It started off with a bang, James Prochet muffing a punt. Chiefs recover. They score a few plays later. The defense played their tails off. The 21-7 does not give the defense enough credit for this game. The total yardage and things might be skewed a little bit just because we started our post-game show at the 2-minute warning, but it tells the story of it was a turnover fest for the Browns offense, and special teams. Speaking of, Bubba Ventrone, he's getting fired. I mean, we didn't see any missed kicks, but we only got to see one PAT attempt, and Riley Patterson nearly missed it. By the way, Dustin Hopkins got benched, so there's that. And then Nick Chubb got injured, so we'll talk about that in just a second here. But first, a quick shout-out to our friends over at Game Time. If you want to go see a Browns game, a Cavs game, or any other sporting event in your local area, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. I put all that information, because I love you guys, in the comments and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. So let's talk about this game a little bit more, because the Browns defense played awesome. Unfortunately, they never got to Patrick Mahomes quick enough for a sack, so Myles Garrett still searching for that 100th sack, but they bottled up the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are frauds. They'll probably figure it out in the postseason, but I'm only going to say probably. I look forward to betting against the Chiefs. I think anyone that watched this game walked away from it going, yeah, the Browns aren't very good, but the Chiefs do not look like a 12, now 13-1 football team. Let me see if Tankathon, by the way, is updated, because the Browns, 3-11, currently hold the 3rd overall pick in the draft. The Giants and Raiders at 2-12 and 2-11 are at 1-2. And I think they both need quarterbacks. So picking 3rd is not going to do you any justice. It's going to go Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. Unless the Browns find a way to get themselves in 1 or 2, I don't think they are going to land a quarterback. And my guess is they're probably going to find one more win in the last 3 games. The Dolphins coming to Cleveland. You got the Bengals, the Ravens. Maybe the Ravens are sitting people. Probably not in Week 18. But I feel like this Browns team is, believe it or not, somewhat good enough to at least get one more win. So the tank is on right now. They've lost 3 in a row, 3-11. Things can change, though. The Patriots game and the Panthers, the Jags, the Jets, the Titans, they're all still 3-10. I don't think those games have gone final yet or updated. So that could impact it. But that's the live tankathon as I do this video. Kareem Hunt, a little bit of a revenge-ish game, had a good first run. But overall, the Browns defense played well. I just want to wrap up the video by some injury news. Nick Chubb left the game with a foot injury, kind of a non-contact, just planted his foot on an option play where Jameis tucked it and run. And we never saw Chubb after that again. I'm starting to think if Chubb does not come back for the rest of the year with this foot injury with 3 games left, we might have seen the last of Nick Chubb, not only for the Browns, but maybe in the NFL. Maybe another team is willing to give him a shot with a little bit more rehab time from his injury, but it's tough to believe the Browns are going to look at this and go, yeah, we're going to give you another contract. Maybe if it will be a vet minimum type deal, and they draft a rookie, and they're like, we're going to go with Ford, Chubb, and the rookie, and kind of just do a committee backfield a little bit, but it's a bummer. It sucks, but it's very clear and obvious that that injury just somewhat ended his career, which really sucks to say out loud, and it sucks to acknowledge, but it is the truth at this point. All right, that will do it for us on our post-game show today. What's next? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm guessing Jameis is going to get one more crack at it, and if he doesn't play well in that game, then we're probably going to see Deshaun Watson, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and a rookie lead this quarterback room in 2025. And as soon as Watson is healthy, he'll probably start. He'll probably get benched. Or if they turn to DTR, the rookie, they'll start. They'll get benched. And then Watson will come in. He'll play well enough for Browns fans to think, hey, we might get our quarterback after all. So the Browns then will reward him with a contract extension. And as soon as he gets that extension, he'll go back to sucking again. And we'll be stuck in a longer hole and pit for life.